My sister told my 6-year-old daughter, "Kids of cheaters aren't welcome here," then made her watch from outside while every other grandchild opened gifts and ate cake. No one said a word, just stared. I stayed silent, but that night I took action. She wasn't ready for "now you know how it feels." I'm not really sure where to begin with this, so I'll just lay it out plain. This happened in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, last fall. My family's lived around this area for generations, tight-knit, nosy as hell, and real big on doing things the right way, whatever that's supposed to mean. Let me be real with y'all, I messed up. I cheated on my wife. One time. It happened during a rough patch. No excuses, I owned it, I confessed. I took every consequence that came with it. She left me. She had every right to. What I didn't expect was how fast my entire family would turn their backs on me. Some people stopped replying to texts. Some started posting little Facebook quotes about betrayal and character. And some, like my sister Dana, decided to become the morality police. Dana's a control freak. Always has been. Growing up, she was the kid who tattled on everybody else for stuff she was doing too. She loved being the favorite. Perfect grades, perfect house, perfect life. And when my marriage blew up, she treated it like proof she was better than me. That she always had been. I tried to stay civil. For the sake of my daughter, Mia, she's 6. Sweetest kid in the world. Lives for stickers, bedtime stories, and bubble baths with way too many toys in the tub. None of this mess was her fault. She didn't ask for any of it. I get Mia every other week plus Wednesdays. I've never missed a pickup. Never been late. I do her hair even though I suck at it. I sit through Frozen for the 500th time like it's the first. I'm trying. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. So when Dana sent out a group text about her daughter's 8th birthday party, I figured, okay, maybe things are calming down. Maybe we're getting past the drama. I texted back that I'd be there, and that I'd have Mia with me since it was my weekend. No reply, nothing. Just a thumbs up from her husband, Greg, who's about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. The day of the party comes around. It's early October, kind of chilly but sunny. Mia's got on this little blue dress with white flowers on it. She picked it out herself. We went to Walmart the day before to get a gift for her cousin, some kind of art set and a jewelry-making kit. Mia even made her a card with crayons. Spelled her name wrong, but who cares? She was proud of it. We pull up to Dana's house around 2 in the afternoon. Whole street's got cars lined up. Balloons on the mailbox, music playing in the backyard, Mia's bouncing in her seat. "Do you think there's gonna be cupcakes, Daddy?" she asks. "What if they have juice boxes?" We walk up the steps to the front door. I knock. Dana opens it. She looks right at me, then down at Mia. Her whole face changes. She steps out onto the porch and shuts the door behind her. "I said you could come," she says. "Not her." I laugh because I think it's a joke. "She's 6, Dana. She's your niece. She came to celebrate." Dana doesn't blink. "Kids of cheaters aren't welcome here." She says it like she's reading off a damn script. Like it's some law that just exists, and she's doing me a favor by enforcing it. I glance at Mia. She's holding the gift bag with both hands, looking up at her aunt like she doesn't understand what's happening. Because she doesn't. "Come on," I say, keeping my voice low. "Don't do this. She doesn't even know what that means." Dana shakes her head. "I'm setting a boundary. Actions have consequences. You want to come in? Fine." But she waits outside. And then she walks back in and closes the door. I just stood there. For a second, I didn't even move. Couldn't. I looked down at Mia and she's just frozen. She's still holding the bag. Her mouth's open a little like she wants to ask a question, but she's not sure if she should. She turns and looks through the front window. All her cousins are inside. Balloons, streamers, presents, cupcakes, little plastic tiaras. They're laughing and eating and taking pictures. Someone's handing out party favors. And my daughter, she's outside in her flower dress, watching like she doesn't exist. She taps the glass once lightly, then again. No one looks. She just stands there, tiny fingers on the window, staring in. I put my hand on her shoulder and said, "Let's go, baby." She didn't move. I said it again. "Come on, we're leaving." This time she turned, still holding the gift, still quiet. Her eyes were wide, but there weren't tears yet. Not yet. We walked back to the car. The whole street felt silent even though I knew music was playing. I opened the door, helped her in, and when I closed it, that's when she finally asked, "Did I do something bad?" I couldn't answer. She looked down at the gift bag. Maybe she didn't like my card. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. I wanted to go back up to that house and rip the damn door off its hinges. But I didn't. I got in the car and I drove us home. She didn't say much on the ride back. I told her we'd have our own party. Just me and her. I made grilled cheese and gave her ice cream straight from the tub. We watched a movie. She fell asleep curled up on the couch with her stuffed elephant. I stared at the ceiling for a long time that night. I kept thinking about her face when Dana shut that door. How confused she looked. How small she looked. Like the world just shifted and she couldn't figure out why. I didn't sleep. And that's when I decided. If Dana wanted to make this a battle, fine. But she wasn't gonna win it with shame. She wasn't gonna get to rewrite the story of who my daughter was. She wasn't gonna get to be the one who decides who belongs and who doesn't. She drew her line in the sand that day. And I was about to draw mine. I didn't do anything the next day. Didn't call Dana. Didn't text. I needed time to think. I didn't want to react. I wanted to hit where it would matter. Not just for me, but for Mia. She deserved better than a family that treated her like trash over something she didn't even understand. The day after that, Monday, I got a text from my cousin Lacey. Heard what Dana did. That true? I didn't say much back. Just, yeah. Not even a minute later, she called. You serious right now? She asked. She really left Mia outside. What the hell is wrong with her? I told her exactly what happened, word for word. The silence on the other end of the phone said everything. That's how it started. Lacey told her mom, who told my Uncle Rick, who told his wife, and before the day was over, half the damn family knew what Dana had said. Not the watered-down version, not there was a misunderstanding. The real story, word for word. By Tuesday, I had 4 missed calls from Dana. I didn't answer a single one. She finally sent a text. I think you're twisting what happened. Mia wasn't banned. I just asked for respect. I stared at that message for a while. Respect. That word hit me sideways. She had the nerve to say that after making my little girl stand outside in the cold, watching other kids eat cake. She wanted respect. No. She wanted control, and she was losing it. That night Mia was coloring at the table. I asked her, would you like to have a party here, with your cousins? She looked up. Even if they don't like me. They like you just fine, I said. Some people just forget how to act. She nodded. Can there be balloons? There can be whatever you want. Here's the thing about Dana, she's spent her whole life being the center. She hosts the holidays, the baby showers, the birthdays. Her house, her rules. She controls the guest list, the food, the games, the stories. Everybody plays nice with her because it's easier than dealing with the fallout if you don't. But once someone else gives people a way out, they start taking it. I started with my grandma's old house out in Woodbury. It's been sitting empty for years. Still in the family, but no one used it for anything except storage. I called Uncle Rick and asked if I could borrow the key. He didn't even ask why, just said, go ahead, you thinking of fixing it up? Something like that. I drove out the next morning. The place was dusty, sure, but it had soul. Big backyard, old swing set, real quiet neighborhood. Needed elbow grease, but nothing major. I opened the windows, aired it out, wrote a list of what I'd need. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. Not yet. Instead, I made another list, names of family members who had slowly slipped from Dana's orbit over the years. The cousins she'd snapped at. The aunt she told to stop dressing like she's still 20. The uncle whose name she didn't even put on the Christmas raffle list last year. I called each of them. One by one. I didn't trash Dana. I didn't need to. All I said was, I'm putting something together for the kids, something different. No drama, just family, you in? They were in. That Saturday I picked Mia up early. Took her to the dollar store. We filled a cart with decorations, streamers, balloons, little signs that said welcome and family first. She picked out a rainbow tablecloth and one of those plastic crowns with fake jewels glued on. I told her, this is our place now, you're in charge of how it looks. She smiled like I hadn't seen her smile in weeks. We cleaned that house together, scrubbed the kitchen, wiped down windows. I showed her how to twist streamers and tape them up. I grilled hot dogs in the backyard on an old charcoal pit that still worked like a charm. My buddy from work brought over a speaker for music. Lacey brought folding chairs and a big tub of lemonade. By noon, the first guests showed up. By 2, we had more than 20 people in the yard, kids running around, adults talking, laughing, no fake smiles, no walking on eggshells. Just people being people. Nobody asked where Dana was. Nobody cared. Mia wore her crown all day. She didn't ask about her cousin's party. She didn't ask why we weren't at Aunt Dana's. All she cared about was that she was surrounded by love. The real kind. No strings attached. Now here's where it turns. Monday morning, my phone blows up. 3 missed calls, then a text from Dana. "You're seriously hosting family events behind my back now?" Then another. "You're turning people against me." Then a third. "You know I was protecting the kids. You brought this on yourself." That one nearly made me laugh. Protecting the kids? From what? From my kid? That's when I realized she wasn't mad that I embarrassed her. She was scared. Scared because I stopped playing by her rules. Because people were showing up for me without needing her permission. And I knew then I hit a nerve. But I wasn't done. Because the more people started coming around to our new gathering spot, the more Dana tried to pull tighter on the ones still in her corner. She started guilt-tripping people. "If you're going to his thing, then don't come to mine. He's just trying to make me look bad. He's using his daughter to play victim." Word got back to me from 3 different people. I didn't reply, didn't engage. But I made a list of who told me. I kept receipts, because I knew something was coming. And when it did, I wanted to be ready. The next week, things started getting weird. Not just petty, but weird. It started when Mia's school called. "Hey, Mr. Wallace, just checking in. We had a note on file that Mia's not to be picked up by anyone besides her mother. Just wanted to confirm that's still accurate." I blinked. "What? No, that's not right. I've got shared custody." "Always have." The front office lady sounded confused. "Oh, okay. Well, there was an update submitted last Friday from an authorized family member." I asked for a copy. They emailed it over. You want to guess who submitted it? Dana. She actually submitted paperwork to restrict my access to my own daughter at school. She forged her name onto the form and marked, "Father not authorized without prior approval." I drove straight to the school, brought my custody papers, and sat down with the principal. They were quick to fix it. Apologized. Said they'd notify the staff and lock the file. But that wasn't the point. The point was, Dana had crossed a line, not just a mean comment, not just family drama. She was trying to sabotage my rights as a parent. That night I called her, first time I'd spoken to her directly since the party. She answered with that tone she always uses, fake calm, smug as hell. "Well, look who finally decided to call." I didn't play into it. "I know what you did." "Sorry," she said. "You'll have to be more specific. I've done a lot of things lately." "You sent a fake form to Mia's school, tried to block me from picking her up." Silence, just for a second. Then she says, "If the school made a mistake, that's between you and them." I let that sit. "You're messing with the wrong part of my life, Dana. You do anything to make life harder for my daughter. I swear to God, I'll come at you with every legal option I've got. And you know I don't bluff." That got her. She tried to pivot. "Maybe you should have thought about your daughter before blowing up your marriage." There it was, the real Dana. That little poison she loves to slip in every conversation. The superiority, the judgment. I hung up. 2 days later I got a letter, not an email, a real letter, mailed to my apartment. It was from my parents. Handwritten by my mom, signed by both of them. I won't quote the whole thing, but here's the core of it. "We think it would be best if you stepped back from family gatherings for a while. You've created a lot of tension. People are feeling divided. It's not fair to put everyone in the middle. Dana has offered to keep hosting events. We'd like to keep things peaceful." Peaceful. That word again. That fake kind of peace where everybody shuts up and smiles while one person calls all the shots. I stared at that letter for a long time. Then I called my dad. He picked up on the second ring. "I got the letter," I said. "Son, you know she left Mia outside, right? You know that actually happened." He was quiet. "I read the letter, Dad. And I just need to know, are you okay with what she did?" More silence. "I don't like what she did," he finally said, "but we're trying not to take sides." "You already did," I said. "You picked Dana." Then I hung up. After that, it all picked up speed. Dana started throwing pop-up events, movie nights, cousin sleepovers, ice cream trips, without telling me. She'd call Cassie, my ex, and offer to take Mia along with her kids just so she doesn't miss out. And Cassie started saying yes. Because Dana had always been good at playing the hero, at painting me like the messy one and herself as the savior. And truthfully, Cassie and I still didn't see eye to eye on a lot, so she saw it as Dana stepping in to help. But I saw what it really was. She was pulling my kid into her world. into her version of the family, one where I was the mistake and she was the glue holding it all together. I tried talking to Cassie. "She's your sister, not Mia's mother," I said. "She's not doing anything wrong," Cassie said. "Mia likes spending time with her cousins. I'm not getting in the middle of this." "You already are." And just like that, I started losing control over my own daughter's time. Not because I wasn't showing up, but because Dana was playing a longer game than I thought. Then came the final twist, at least so far. It was my weekend. I showed up to pick up Mia, and Cassie opened the door with a weird look on her face. "She's not here," she said. "What do you mean not here?" "Dana picked her up this morning. She said you two arranged it." I felt my stomach drop. "No, we didn't," Cassie blinked. "She said she cleared it with you. Said it was a special thing they were doing." I pulled out my phone. No texts, no calls, nothing. That's when I really lost it. Not yelling, not screaming, but that cold kind of anger that makes your hands shake. I told Cassie to call Dana right now. Put her on speaker. She did. Dana answered, cheery as ever. "Oh, hey, we're at the farm, took the kids out to pick pumpkins. We're gonna roast marshmallows and—" "You took Mia without telling me," I said. She paused. "I thought you knew." "You knew I didn't." "Well," she said, voice turning sharp, "if you weren't so hard to communicate with, maybe this wouldn't have happened." That's when I made the decision. Right there, standing in my ex-wife's doorway, staring at my phone with that voice still in my ear. No more playing defense. No more quiet. If Dana wanted a war, I was gonna give her one. And this time, she'd learn what it felt like when someone fights back. After that call, I sat in my truck for a long time. No music, no calls, just silence. I'd been trying to stay decent. Trying not to become the bitter guy everyone said I was. But there comes a point where you stop caring about what people think, when protecting your kid matters more than being the bigger person. That moment came and went for me on that damn driveway. I went home, pulled out the box I kept under my bed, the one with all the papers. Custody orders, old texts, emails, screenshots. I started printing everything. I even printed screenshots of Dana's Facebook posts, passive-aggressive Bible quotes about sin and broken homes, posted the same day she made my daughter cry. I called my lawyer the next morning. "I want to file for a change in custody," I told him. "You think you can win?" "I don't know, but I'll go broke trying." He filed. It would take time, but that wasn't the only thing I had planned. Now, something you should know, Dana isn't just a control freak. She's also a hypocrite. You know how she called me a cheater? Said my daughter wasn't worthy because of my mistake. Turns out, Dana's husband, Greg, had been stepping out on her for months, with a woman from his work. Someone half her age. I found out from my cousin Derek, who worked in the same warehouse as Greg and saw him one night at a bar, lip-locked with a brunette who sure as hell wasn't Dana. I didn't say anything at first. But once Dana started showing up to Mia's school events uninvited, once she tried to sign Mia up for a church camp behind my back, I stopped playing nice. I made a burner account. I sent screenshots to Dana from that account. Pictures of Greg with his side piece. Times, dates, even a selfie the girl posted with the caption, "He says I make him feel alive again, kiss mark." No message, just the photos. 2 days later, Dana deleted her Facebook. A week later, Greg was sleeping in his truck outside his buddy's place. The perfect family she loved showing off, cracked wide open. I didn't celebrate, I didn't smile. But I sure as hell didn't feel bad. That's not even the end. Remember that letter my parents sent? The one telling me to step back from the family? I framed it. Hung it in the hallway of Grandma's house in Woodbury. Right next to the thermostat. Because over the next 3 months, that house became the family spot. Thanksgiving, Woodbury, Christmas, Woodbury, every single person who got tired of Dana's fake smiles and guilt trips came to me. I didn't beg, I didn't pressure, I just opened the door and people walked through it. We had bonfires, chili cook-offs, Secret Santa. The kids played tag in the yard and Mia started smiling again. I watched her go from quiet and confused to loud and joyful again. That house, our house, healed her. And me, too, a little. And then came the final blow. Court date finally arrived. Cassie tried to play neutral, but she'd seen enough of Dana's meddling by then. I handed my lawyer everything, every text, every fake school form, every photo of Dana taking Mia places without my permission. My lawyer painted a clear picture, a woman who used children as pawns, a sister who tried to cut a father out of his daughter's life, A family that chose silence over protecting a child. And it worked. The judge didn't give me full custody. I didn't ask for it. But I got more time, more say, full holiday rights, and a court order blocking Dana from having any unsupervised contact with Mia. Ever. You should have seen her face in that courtroom when the judge read it out loud. She looked stunned, like the walls were finally closing in. And then the judge dropped one more bomb. Given the extent of the interference, we're also issuing a no-contact order. Miss Dana redacted, you are to have no further direct or indirect communication with the child or her father without court approval. Her jaw hit the floor. I walked out without saying a word. Now, every once in a while, I still hear things. That Dana's losing her grip on the family. That Greg moved out permanently. That her kids are asking why nobody comes to their house anymore. I don't gloat, but I remember what she said. Kids of cheaters aren't welcome here. And now, she's sitting in that empty house, watching everyone else's kids open gifts and eat cake. Outside looking in, just like she made Mia do. Except this time, nobody's opening the door. And that's not revenge. That's karma. That's justice. For my daughter. For me. For anyone who's ever been told they don't belong because someone else decided to play God. We don't just belong now. We own the damn table. And the cake tastes a whole lot sweeter on the side.